boxing. Today we're going to be going live with Ebanie Bridges. Ebanie's currently 4-0 from Australia. She's making a lot of noise in the women's division, hugely popular in Australia, and the UK fans have sort of gravitated to her on social media and things like that. So we're going to be getting an idea of what her plans are for the future, and just what she'll bring to the women's division. There's some huge fights at the minute. Women's boxing is absolutely booming at present, and I think it'll be good to sort of speak to her and get her thoughts on the division and how things are as a whole. So she brings a lot of excitement, extravagant weigh-ins, things like that. So we'll speak to her about that and we'll go from there. So just add her in. Just waiting for her to join, get her added in, and we'll go from there. I'll see you, Luke. What's going on? Give Simbox a follow. They're another set of good lads doing sort of something similar to what I'm doing with the platform. Trying to get all the best interviews, things like that. So yeah, give Simbox a follow as well. Plenty of hellos. If there's anything you want me to ask Ebanie or you wanted to answer, fire away. Leave a question and we'll see if we can get round to asking her some of them if we've not already covered them. I've got a set sort of amount that we're going to ask her, but if some of it's missed off, just let us know. Fire a question in and we'll go from there. Just wait for her to join in and then we'll get it cracking. Sheen, yeah. Hello from Fiji. Anytime, Luke. Yeah, so Ebanie's built up quite a following. I think if you look at social media, she interacts with everyone. I sent her a message, she fired straight back. Lot of good banter. She, always fires back with something on Twitter. Very much on Twitter. She doesn't take no bullshit, which is, it's great to see. But also spreads a lot of positivity. A lot of good messages coming across from her on her Instagram and stuff like that. So we'll talk to her about all of that and obviously what fights you want to see her in. She's obviously she is going to put bums in seats. She is going to be a good ticket seller. So I think it's important we speak to her and obviously give her a chance. And she's the first female boxer we've had on MJ Boxing. So it's good because women's boxing at the minute is absolutely on fire. Come on. Just wait for her to join and then we'll get on with it. But yeah, for all new ones that have just joined, if you've got any questions you want me to ask her, leave them, just comment with question, and if we get round to it, I'll happily ask her. Yeah, any questions at all that you think we might not have asked. I can see she's joined now, so I'll invite her in, and then we'll go from there. Any questions, fire them in. Just connecting. How's it going? You all right?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for doing with this anyway. I really appreciate it.
Oh, good.
I know there's a bit of
Long
a time.
day.
Yeah. I know there's a bit of a time difference, so I was panicking thinking I'm going to be sat here on the wrong day.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all good. I'm pretty good with my UK time. Pretty much it's like I'm living in the UK, but I'm in Australia.
Yeah.
That's how my times work.
Oh, gosh. I've got a set amount of questions. We'll just run through them, but if we go off topic, we'll just carry on as it is. I mentioned before you came on, I sort of give a brief sort of introduction to you, what you're doing so far, women's boxing, the attention on you, on all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
what a lot of people, I think I first found out about you from a newspaper article in the UK that obviously give a bit of a brief overview about, you know, maths teacher, all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, my friend's commenting socks.
Oh, I'll get to that. I've got that. I've got that down. Yeah. I've got that down. I've got that down.
Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
No, it's fine. In your debut fight, you suffered a huge setback. A lot of fans will know someone. You snapped your ankle in the first, few seconds of that fight, and you still managed to. I mean, I've seen the highlights. That I don't know how you managed to get through that fight. So, can you just sort of explain to people how difficult it was to come back from such an early setback?
Okay, so firstly, obviously the fight, pro debut on pay-per-view in Australia, national television, you know, my big day. I've been waiting, you know, forever for this. I get out there, you know, a bit obviously nervous as fuck, cold. And I just, you know, got clipped, a bit of a flash knockdown, went down on my ankle and snapped it. And funny story is I didn't even really know, because it was just a flash knockdown. I actually didn't know that I'd been knocked down. Like, I was like, I blinked my eyes and I got up and it was like, he's counting me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why are you counting me? Because I was like, I didn't even know that I was on the ground, right? Because I wasn't dizzy. Like, I wasn't dizzy. My legs were fine. It was nothing. It was literally like I just blinked my eyes. And I'm like, the fuck? And I remember I was arguing with the ref. And then I went to step back on my leg and I was like, oh, I must have just twisted my ankle. And he's like, oh, she looks dazed. And I'm like, it's just fucking weird. Like we're not in the amateurs. Why is he giving me a standing 8 count, right? So weird. Anyway, and I just thought in my head, oh, she's fucking dead now. Because now she's giving me 8 count for nothing. So I've got to like bash the shit out of her. All right. Obviously, later on, I realized, I got a little bit of flash knockdown. But anyway, I was fine. After the fight, obviously, I was really upset because my ankle was in a lot of pain. I didn't know how bad it was. My physio was there. He told me, he tried to be nice to me, and he was like, yeah, you know, it looks like an, you know, like an upper ankle sprain. But yeah, I actually snapped the ligaments, which hold the bones together. So it's a 6-month recovery. And that obviously being my debut, being on national television, putting on a cracking fight, because I literally like fought so fucking hard after that. Like I just went to war. I was just like, I wanted to kill her. So like everyone was like, obviously it was an exciting fight because I'm just going, like you can hear when I watch the fight, you hear the commentators like, this Ebanie Bridges, she's just so naturally fit. Like she just doesn't stop punching. I literally, the reason I didn't stop punching, because as soon as I'm seeing all the sock comments. As soon as I stopped punching, I could feel my ankle. Like as soon as I stopped punching, like I was like on my foot. So it was just a way for me to take away from my ankle. Like in the breaks, obviously when I went to sit down in a corner, like all I could feel was my ankle. And then the bell would go and it was just like, okay, game on. Like don't show weakness, don't be a pussy, get out there and win. And then I had my surgery. I booked the next day for my surgery to put a big screw for my ankle. And then I realized that everything I've been working for had just been put on hold.
That must
which obviously was,
that.
Yeah, it was pretty devastating. And because people kept calling me, hey, you want to be on this show? Hey, you want to be on like a contract for like TV contracts, you know, like, and I'm like, man, like, you want to fight in June, like a couple of months later? And I'm like, look, honestly, I don't even know when I'm going to be better. It's supposed to be 6 months, like 3 months on crutches. You know what I mean? Like no weight bearing, like, you know, it was pretty bad. Like the first 10 days I was okay because I had a lot of drugs, a lot of painkillers. So I was literally just taking that. And that was kind of helping with my, like, not dealing with it. And then, obviously, I ran out of, like, painkillers and I had to start dealing with what was going on. And I went to the doctors, tried to get more. They wouldn't let me. They said, look, you don't need it anymore. It's been 10 days. It should be fine. You shouldn't be in that much pain. I'm like, yeah, but my heart hurts. Right? Anyway, anyways, and I just decided, you know, I realized at that point that, okay, you know, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit here and fucking feel sorry for myself and like play poor me? Or am I just going to go realize, okay, look, it's just an ankle. I still got like my arms. I still got whatever. I just got to find a way to work around it. So that's what I did. I couldn't drive obviously because of I couldn't actually put any weight through my foot. So I was lucky enough to have a friend that worked at a local gym. My boxing gym at that time was an hour and a half away. So there was no way for me to get there. It would have been like $150 in an Uber. So like I couldn't go to the boxing gym at all because it was just too expensive in Uber. It was just impossible to get people. Hey, can you drive me like 3 hours to the boxing gym? It wasn't going to happen. No. You know what I mean? So I had to just let go of that. And I went to the local gym and I just started lifting weights. And as you probably heard, you know, I was obviously an ex-bodybuilder, so
yeah.
I have a big weight background. And yeah, I was really blessed at the gym that I was at. You know, they helped me around. They used to carry the weights around for me, pick things up, move things, because I had to sit down and everything because I couldn't put any weight through my ankle. Yeah. So everything I had to do was seated. So they used to have to carry things around for me. But yeah, I managed. I got through it. You know, I learned a lot from it. It was actually really interesting, a process. Something that I thought, I mean, if you had a bad mindset, it could have really ruined you. But for me, it was just, I was just focusing on my end goal, which is I want to be a world champion. I can't just fucking quit because I have one setback. Like, you know what I mean? If I quit when I have a setback, I would have fucking been dead, like, you know, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like I would have given up on life 15 years ago. You know, I don't quit nothing, like, and I push for everything. So, that's kind of just that mindset. And, I wasn't done yet. Like, I wasn't done, so I wasn't going to quit. And yeah, that was it. And then, yeah, I was back in the gym after a couple of, you know, 5 months. Training, starting to feel good. I think I was in the gym for about 5 weeks. And then I had like my second spar, and I ripped my oblique off my hip bone. And then
wow.
I didn't have surgery for it because I didn't need surgery for it. I just had to wear a waistband, like a thing for like 2 weeks. So so I did that. I ripped it was off my right side. I was in sparring and I went to throw a right body hook, and because my ankle was still recovering, my foot was flat, so I didn't lift through it. So it was all because I'm quite powerful, all my strength and power through that body. It was all through the waist, and I was anchored with my foot, so my hip didn't move and my whole body twisted and just tore. And yeah, I felt it obviously, and I was in pain. I crippled over, and I said, "Oh fuck!" And I'm like, I think I need to stop. It was like 20 seconds into the spar, and then my coach and, you know, my friend traveled quite a while to get this spar, and they're like, "Oh, you want to stop?" And I'm like, no. So I didn't. I didn't. I pushed to another, you know, the next 2 minutes or the next round of it with that, which I couldn't do shit with it. I was just sitting in there like this and trying to punch, and it was just making it worse. And yeah, as my physio said, I made it a lot worse. It was probably just a little tear, and then I tore it right, like a 3 centimeter tear off the bone. It was hanging on by like a thread. Wow. And yeah, I'm learning. I'm older, but I'm still learning that whole risk over reward. It's hard because as a fighter, you need to have that no quit mentality. You can't be a little pussy. You know, if something hurts too bad, you got to push through it. In a fight, you can't sit there and go, "Oh, I'm sore, like just quit." Like, I mean, you can, but that's not me. Yeah. If that was me, then I would have quit in my debut fight. You know, so I had that no quit mentality. Literally, like, I'll keep fighting until someone throws a towel in. You know, so but I've learned, especially from that. I mean, I'm still learning that. Yeah, like when it's training and things like that, like if you've got an injury or you got something, like, you know, be fucking smart, because it's not really worth it. So yeah. So then it was another 2 months, and yeah, that was it. That's that.
It's different, isn't it? Because when you're in the fight, you know, you either flight or fight. You either say, "I've had enough," no. But then when you're in the gym, it's like, well, this is preparing you for the fight, but you've still got that fighter's mentality where it's like, well, I'm not stopping. But then you'd think, it might delay me in the next couple of months, but
exactly. See, but yeah, I'm learning about that, because for me, I've always been taught, and my mindset is what you do in the gym is what you do in a fight. So if you're fucking being a pussy and being fucking pussy little quitting in the gym, you know, like because you're tired or too hard, like you're gonna do the same thing in a fight. So I don't do it. But there's a difference, obviously, between being a little bitch and quitting because you're a bit sore or you're a bit fatigued or like you're tired or whatever. To an injury, which I'm still getting my head around. You know what I mean? Like I've always been, I just hate quitting. So I mean, but I'm getting drilled by my physio, so I'm learning more about that. But yeah, I mean, I've always pushed for heaps. If I broke my knuckle in the amateurs, I broke my knuckle, and I didn't stop with that. Like if I show you photos of my broken knuckle, I was just putting padding around it and just kept training. And the more it hurt, the harder it hit, because it just pissed me off that it was hurting me. And now my knuckle's like full. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's really fat. See that knuckle?
Yeah.
Jeez. But yeah, anyways, that's just a couple of injuries. I get injured every fucking week, to be honest, but I just push through.
Yeah. You mentioned prior, I was going to get onto it, prior to your boxing career, I think you dabbled a bit in kickboxing, but you were a bodybuilder for 7 plus
8,
years, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was that? What was that transition like? 'Cause I know you did. I know you were also a ring girl and stuff like that. What was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
transition like from doing, bodybuilding to then getting in the boxing ring and actually having the fight? Was it easy, or is it just something you always wanted to do?
A lot of. I always wanted to fight. Yeah, I mean, I fought when I was younger. I did martial arts.
Yeah.
So I was always into fighting. Did street fighting. Bitches just pick on me, and yeah, and they fucked with
Yeah.
the wrong blonde.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the transition was hard. I
Mm.
got a lot of injuries. Literally,
Yeah.
like my first year of transitioning from bodybuilding to boxing was just injury riddled. Mate, I got a stress fracture in my hand. I got plantar fasciitis. I actually herniated my 3 discs. I herniated my T4, T5, and T6, which is your middle of your back. Herniated that from the power of twisting because as I started, I didn't have the technique right. So when I was doing body shots and hooks, I was using my back a lot and not my feet, my hips.
Yeah.
And I'm so strong. I'm so strong and powerful that
Mm.
it's all this power going through my waist and my back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, how that happened was I wasn't punching hard or putting power through my hands because I had this stress fracture. So it was
Yeah.
about 6 weeks where I wasn't doing any force, just
Yeah.
shadow boxing and stuff. And then I was like, fuck yeah, I can hit again. So I went into the
Yeah.
gym and I just like went hard out, like just to make up for the last 6 weeks. I didn't ease into it. And then I did my back, and then that was really, really bad. That put me out for about 3 months. Like I couldn't even get out of bed. It was really bad. The herniated discs. So yeah, my first year and a bit of trying to box. Yeah, again, like injury after injury, it was like it just spread around my body. And then I was lucky to catch a break enough time to get ready for a fight.
Yeah.
Have 3 months without injury.
Yeah, it seems like you've been riddled with injuries. I don't know how you're still standing, to be honest.
I don't either. I honestly don't. If anyone that knows me, I don't know if I've got any of my friends in here. Anyone that knows me knows that exactly, like that. I'm always battling it. But you know what the sport is that's when you're a high level athlete, you're always going to have injuries.
Yeah.
It's very hard to avoid injuries. You just got to work around them. You always have to work around them. Even as a bodybuilder, I mean, first couple of years as a bodybuilder, I was a baby, so you're invincible. You don't even have to fucking warm up or stretch. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, yeah, you have to start. So, and it was also just going from being static and stiff in bodybuilding, there's no athleticism in bodybuilding. Like it's just you're strong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or you're lifting heavy. You're doing reps and shit. There's no athletic. I was smoking like a pack a day for 15 years. Like I didn't even need my lungs when I was bodybuilding. I'd have cigarettes, so I didn't eat. Like that's what it was like bodybuilding for me.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it's an aesthetic sport. It's not an athletic sport.
Yeah, it's not cardio based, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah. It's not, and it's not skill based. Yeah. It's lift fucking weights. Like you just go in there and pump weight. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's mental. You need that mentality, and that mentality that I got from bodybuilding, I bring into boxing. Like you need that mentality of. Because you got to push past fatigue. If you want your muscles to grow, you got to fatigue. You got to go to failure. And when you fail, you have to keep failing. Like when you feel like shit, you got to go and you got to lift and you got to do all that and you got to eat this strict diet 24/7. Like it's insane. You know what I mean? So I mean, it built me up for a lot of things, and it just makes boxing a little bit easier.
I'm going to say that sets you up for boxing because boxing's about, like everyone keeps saying, living the life. You can't take a day, days off at a time. You've got to eat well, got to train. Can't be really sort of abusing your body with alcohol too much, and stuff like that. So I suppose that, in a way, you've already got that discipline, haven't you, from moving?
Yeah, easy. I mean, the discipline for boxing, I know you do have to live and breathe it, but it's definitely nowhere near the same as bodybuilding. It's a little bit different. And plus, I really love boxing. I love fucking punching people. I love punching shit, and I love what I do. I didn't love bodybuilding. I don't love lifting weights. You know how fucking boring that is? But I did it because and I was good at it. I won so many competitions. I was a top of my game in the league. I was national, international, and because I was so good, and that's what I had to do to be my best. You just do it. Like you just do what you have to do. Like, and that's it. And I've always like food, for example. I fucking hate vegetables, but I've been forcing myself to eat vegetables for 15 fucking years because. Whereas a bodybuilder, you have to do it. Like, you think I want to eat that shit? No way. I'd rather eat pizza. But what's the point? It's not going to do anything for my body. It absolutely does nothing for my goals. So I don't do it. And that's, I disconnected my mind from eating food as pleasure a long time ago, you know. So for me, boxing, like I have a bit of fruit and a bit of fun, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this is mad. Like, you know what I mean? Or like I get to punch shit like mad. The only thing with boxing is the running. Like I hate running, so I force myself to run, and I hate it, but I got to do it. You got to do.
Yeah.
I don't think there's not often that you love everything that you do, but you know, and that's the same. You know, sorry, I'm just going to go off topic here a little bit, but
no,
like you got social media and stuff, and a lot of people like it's part of the sport, unfortunately, because you need to promote yourself, and you do need to do that. It's part of the business. You know, any business, you want to get your name out there.
You got to sell tickets.
A lot. You got to, and I think a lot of fighters, they don't want to do it, or they're a bit lazy to do it. But I look at it as in, fuck, even if I didn't want to do it, you got to do it. It helps. Every bit helps. Whatever you can do to help, man. You know, so that's just what I do. Yeah, every minute of my day I don't waste. Like, I'm always working towards whatever I need to do.
Yeah, you've just to go back, you dabbled in loads of different things, but you're a maths teacher as well. How well received are you at your school, and do they sort of flexible and allow you to train? Because you're balancing two professions, one that's literally life and death in a ring, and another one's teaching. So at the end of the day, you must be pretty worn out and shattered if you're doing all that.
I am. Like, I'm shattered right now. Like, I get up at 5 o'clock and I train before school, and then I go and teach all day at school, and then I train after school. And I do that 4 days a week. I have Wednesdays off, but then Wednesdays is all boxing stuff. Like, I mean, I train 3 times a day on Wednesday. Sometimes during the week I'll train 3 times a day. Get up at 5, I train, I go to school, then I train straight after school at 3, and I come home and eat, and I do more strength conditioning at like 8 o'clock at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to fit it all in. I usually have a rest day. One of my working days is a rest day, so I always like to train on Saturday and Sunday. I don't have your Saturday or Sunday off. My rest days are usually a big day at school. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to work. I don't want to train today. So, but that means I never have a day off. Literally, I don't have a day off. But no, they're really good. So, some days I finish early, or some days I start later. And they're pretty good. I work at a sports school. I used to work at a different school, which I also loved. But it was very far away. I used to travel. I worked there for about a year and a half. It was an hour and a half away from home. I used to travel out there, plus my boxing, and I did a lot of extra stuff there with the kids. And they weren't very lenient. It got to a point where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. As much as I love the kids and I want to help these poor kids, I just can't. I got to put myself first. And they weren't having a bar of helping me. I'm like, fuck, man, I do so much for the school. So I've had this sports school which was chasing me for a while, and I hit them up and I said, hey, let's do this, but if you want me to work for you guys, then this is my requirements. And they said, no worries. Coming up to a fight, I get time off.
Yeah,
I get at least 2 weeks off leading into my fights. The last 2 weeks, I'm so used to working like 2-3 jobs and training 2-3 times a day that for me it's like if I can get 2 weeks off in leading up my camp, like that's a fucking blessing, Yeah. So, because I tutor as well, and I'm also a sports nutritionist. So, like sometimes during the week I tutor after training. So I'll finish training at 7, and I go tutor kids at like from 7 till 9, and then I'm writing diets for my clients. So it's like it doesn't stop, man.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's good that you've got a school that's flexible and allows you to do that, because I'm going to say I can imagine someone like, you've got to be fully committed to this and give you no sort of wiggle room. So it's good that they allow you to do that.
Yeah, I'm blessed for that. Yeah, definitely.
I mentioned before you came on, just sort of when I introduced you and what we're going to be talking about, you've built up quite a UK following.
Love my British fans.
Yeah, we're gonna get onto some of the comments and stuff like that you've made. I was just wondering, when all this COVID stuff's ended and you're able to start travelling and going about, are you looking at trying to base yourself more in like the UK or the US and set up camp, over here?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be going to the US, or what's your plans for like future fights and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, it all depends on if a promoter signs me. If there's a promoter signs me in America, then I'm assuming I'll base myself in America more. If there is a promoter that signs me in the UK, then I'll be more in the UK. But at the moment, as a freelance, I'm just going to go where the fights are. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a fight in the UK, then I'll be over in the UK 6 weeks at least beforehand. You know what I mean? And that's just like when I fought in America, I was there for 4 weeks. Like, that's just what I got to do. And I was blessed that I was in school holidays, so it actually worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
But so I mean, it depends. I would never move overseas. Unfortunately, I've got too much of, you know, life here. Got my cat, you know. But yeah, no, I got my boyfriend and stuff here, and you know, it's not really something. I think that's idealistic. I mean, I know that if they say if you want to, you know, make it, you should, but I don't think you have to. I think as long as I'm there for the camp, it's fine. You know, and I definitely be there for the camp. And as soon as COVID's over, I'm gonna come to the UK, whether there's a fight or there's not a fight. I'm just gonna fucking come, and I'm gonna be there, and I'll come and watch a fight. If the fights are crowds, if there's crowds, then I'll be there watching. If not, then maybe I can do a bit of a gym tour. You know, sink some
decent that.
Sink some pints of water. My fans get wasted around me.
I'm sure there'd be queues for him to do that. I'm sure everyone that.
But yeah, I mean, that's definitely my first stop. Ideally, my first stop is the UK for a fight or just to get over there and check it out. It's on the books. Obviously,
have you ever been before? Have you ever been?
Never been to Europe. No, never been to anywhere in Europe. But my background's, I'm Austrian. My parents are Austrian, so I've always wanted to go to Europe. But yeah, I mean, and I've been to America so many times, man. I was in America like 3 times. I was in America in December, February, twice in February. You know, like I go back and forth all the time to America. It's like sometimes I'll just go for a fight for 4 days and then come. I mean, it's like a 25-hour flight. 25 or 23 to 25-hour flight to the East Coast and about 17 hours to the West Coast. So, I mean, I don't mind. I'm so used to the long travel. To me, I just try and pick a seat where I can lay out on.
Yeah, you've been to some mega fights. I'm looking through your Instagram. You went to Fury Wilder. I think you went to Pacquiao Thurman in Vegas. All these big fights.
Yeah, Charlo's fights.
Yeah, when you go to these fights, does that, you know, do you come away from that with like extra motivation to be like, you know what, I want to. You know, headline a show. I want all this, you know, kind of thing. Does that give you like a push to really sort of achieve what you want in boxing?
Not really. I'm already pretty motivated. I don't need that to motivate me. What did motivate me, if we're talking about that, is when I went to Fury Wilder fight.
Yeah.
And it's funny. And I saw all the British fans for the first time live. That's the first time I've seen there was fucking so many British fans, and they were crazy, legit. I'm telling you right now, like I always want to come to England. And after I seen all them motherfuckers going crazy, I was like, I want these fans. And that is why I was talking to Patrick Killian, and he said, get on Twitter, because Twitter's, you know, if you want to get into the boxing and you want to, you know, get into England or whatever, UK, get on Twitter because it's big. And I'm like, Twitter, fuck, no one uses Twitter, like in Australia, because no one uses Twitter. And they're like, and I'm like, I don't even know how to use it. I wouldn't even have a clue how to use it, like, you know. And then I was like, you know what? Well, someone's telling me that it's a good thing to do, so do it. And that's what I did. Like 5 months ago, February, end of Feb. Yeah. I was like end of Feb, and then here I am. And that was the best thing I did, because not only do I have all these British fans that I said when I went to this fight, like that's what I said after I watched Out of Fury. I was like, I want these British fans. Like I want British fans because they're the best. Like, and then here I am. I've got the British fans, and I've built obviously a huge following on Twitter. And it just seems that who I am and my personality is suited to the Brits. I mean, don't get me wrong, Americans love me too. I go to the shows in America and they recognize me. They know me because I do a lot of videos with Fight Hype. So people come up to me like I'm at the MGM and people are coming up to me and they're like, "You're the blonde bomber," and I'm like, "Yeah," and like, "Can I get a photo with you?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And I get I'm more like famous or popular in the UK and in America than in Australia, because boxing in Australia isn't big. The only people that know boxing in Australia are fighters. Like, and maybe, you know, some fans, but I mean, it's, if you don't fight, like, it's not big, like, you don't get much crowds, like, it's not like you guys, you know what I mean? And like, we're over in America, you know, and then someone will start taking a photo of me, and then they're like, "Oh, you boxer?" I'm like, "No way, you're a boxer," you know, obviously, because like I'm at the fight, so I'm like, you know, dressed up hot and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, can I get a photo?" And it ends up being like, I'm like, "Fuck yeah," like, you know, this is what I want, you know, like, I want to fight here because I love the fans. I love fans, you know, by my interaction on Twitter, how much I love the fans, you know, like, because I think it's important to stay humble.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think it makes their day. Like, I love it too. But how hard is it for me to just spend a bit of time out there with the fans? It's going to make their day, you know what I mean? So, that's just what it's about, spreading love and, you know, remembering where you come from.
Absolutely. I'm going to say the UK fans, they tend to be quite loyal. So
yeah, I've noticed.
if they see you fight, I mean, I went to the first Wilder Fury fight. It was sort of a last minute thing, and I said to my dad, you know, we should go to this. And we went over there, and it was just like just UK fans. Like it was like there was no one else. And I go to obviously the boxing quite a bit over here, so I know what they're like. But even if you can have a fight in the UK and be a good fight, if you lose, you'll still get a round of applause and, you know, cracking fight, well done. Other countries, it seems to be, you know, slightly different, whereas we'll travel to support who they like. Yeah, we will go everywhere to sponsor.
Man, it was literally like British everywhere. I was just like, fuck yeah, like this is mad, you know, and they're crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure they made a big ruckus at the weigh-ins. But nah, it was awesome, man. And definitely sold me on it. And just the, you know, I mean, it's also Fury, like, you know, of course it's going to be pretty wild, like, but I'm sure like even the smaller shows are quite like that. So and I mean, I've already noticed like how loyal they are. Like, you know, Twitter, my Twitter following and my UK follow, they're fucking loyal lads. I'm not even British, and they got my back, and they're always pushing me in that, and I just love that. So I'm really blessed, you know.
Yeah. You have a lot of banter over social media. I remember when I sent you a message to try and see, you know, because we're trying to build at the minute and trying to get followers up, and I didn't realise the whole amount of people you follow ratio thing.
Oh yeah.
And I messaged you, and I got a message back, and I was like, "What the?"
You asked me to follow.
I was like, yeah, I said, can you drop me a follow? Just trying to build up, and then I looked at Rachel, and I was just like. I
was like, sorry, you don't cut the 69. I was like, you don't cut it. I go, sorry, I only follow 69 people. It's my favorite number, and that's it. And until someone drops off and someone like, you know, drops their game and they're boring or they're shit and they get the flick, then they can be replaced. But I've got my top 69. I literally got rid of Eddie Hearn and Coogan the other day because I thought, fuck these guys, I don't need to follow them. I see enough of their shit anyway. Like, I don't need to follow them to see them. Everyone retweets it. So I thought I can replace that with some loyal fans that I love that are really supportive of me. You know, and I rather follow real people that like, you know, like have a good banter and have a laugh. All that boxing stuff, like you see it anyway. Like, why do I need to follow them? You know?
Yeah.
And I can't follow more than I can't follow more than 69 people. I'm sorry. Like, no such thing as 70. It's 69. Oh, that's it. I can't wait to have 69 follow me following 69 and then 69,000 followers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No one else can follow me. That's it. I'm capped.
Yeah, you're gonna have to block it.
I saw Ant Fowler the other. I was probably a while ago now. Ant Fowler, he was at 69, and I was like, I'm so jealous of your followers, man. You've got 69,000 followers. That's my number. He's laughing at me. That's my number.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say when I saw that message, I was just hysterics, laughing, thinking, you know, this is good banter. It makes a change rather than even being, you know, sometimes people don't get back to you, or they just say, sorry, such as, can you email such and such? It's like, all right then. But yeah, that's good banter. It's good fun. You bring a lot.
Yeah, I'm a real person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm real. Like.
Yeah, so I'm going to say one thing that I think's come up in the comments a lot, socks. So
my socks, yeah.
Discuss what's going on with this, because
see, I just flicked my socks. I better get some money for that little flick of my socks. Look, this is like porn. This is like porn to sock people. I swear to God.
When I get some money, that's fine.
Yeah, they pay for it. They pay for a photo of my socks. They're paying for photos of my dirty socks and photos of my dirty shoes. Like, just my shoes, not even my feet in them. It's fucking weird. But I give them my PayPal and they're giving me the money. I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is that actually happening? Are people actually sending you money for socks and shit?
Yeah. Yeah. So, wait. Hey, they get my boyfriend's socks. I hope they're not listening. No, okay. I even had someone comment and message because I said that I'm sending my boyfriend socks. And they said, we like women's socks. I'm like, well, how are you going to fucking know the difference? Like, anyway. But hey, if they're going to do it, like, it's whatever. Yeah. What are you going to do? For example, right, you got OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
My friends have OnlyFans. They literally post the same fucking photos on their Instagram and their OnlyFans. And I said to them, don't they get shitty? Like, these people that pay for your subscription, what are they going to do? Well, cry? Oh, well, I never said there was nudes. You never said, well, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to go to fair trading? How can you prove they're not my socks? They're gonna go like sue me, like, you know, get DNA testing. Like, are you gonna on OnlyFans? Are you gonna like go? I paid $20 to see this girl nude, and she's only putting up bikini photos or the same photos on her Instagram. Come on, man. Fucking cry me a river. You're a fucking pervert. Like, fucking give me your money. Honestly. And I have people give me money just for the honor to give me money. Literally.
What?
I just like FinDom, financial domination, and pay. They call themselves pay pigs. Can I just give you £50? Can I just pay for your coffees this week? Can I just?
I need to get me one of those. Jesus.
Here's my I just flick everyone my PayPal. I'm like, here's my PayPal. I don't have like conversation. I'm like, yeah, here's my PayPal. Do what you want. I don't care.
You won't even need sponsors, will you? You'll just be like, there's the PayPal. Do what you want.
Yeah, that's PayPal. Yeah. I mean, if they want to give me money, that's up to them. I'm not gonna fucking. I'm not hustling for it.
No.
I mean, they're hustling me like to give me money. Okay. Crazy. Soon you'll be seeing me in like Gucci and like Versace, and it's gonna be like, you know what that's from. Yeah. I haven't been fighting, so you know what that's from.
Stock payments. You know, mental.
So I got to shout out to my sock. Yeah. I got a sock sponsor now, actually. Clings. I do. Cling socks. They're actually British. They're British, of course. They're British. British people love socks. British people love socks. Anyways, no, but the Clings socks. They're actually sports socks. They're pretty good. So yeah, I'll actually post a photo up a bit later about them. But not my feet, because that's like free porn. I'm never ever posting my feet or my socks or anything ever again on my Instagram, because that shit's worth money. I'm not doing it. So it's gonna be like my boxing boots with the top of their brand in it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm a businesswoman.
Nah, respect the hustle. You got to do it. Is there anyone in the sport, going back to like predominantly boxing, is there anyone in the sport you look at now and think, I want to fight her? Do you have your eye on anyone, or is it just literally whatever generates the money, or do you not see it like? There's a lot of comments in here, and I was going to ask you. I think Shannon Clark. Is roughly. I think she fights the same weight. I've tried asking her to.
Nah, she's not. She's heavier.
She's heavier.
Yeah. Yeah, she's bigger, but she's not really bigger. She's not muscly like me. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
Yeah.
So she might be bigger, but I don't know. She just looks kind of big boned and very wide, like structure.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, there's a bit of a difference in our structures. But yeah, I mean, I'd go up and fight her. I don't think she could get down to bantam, but she might. If she can, that'd be fucking awesome. But yeah, I mean, of course I'd fight her. I think I'd beat her quite easily, to be honest. I think she's gonna have a lot of problems with Rachel Ball, a lot of problems.
Do you fancy Rachel Ball in that fight then? Do you think she's got a good chance in that fight, Rachel Ball?
Yeah, definitely. Watch Shannon's fights. She doesn't like pressure at all. She sits on the ropes too much. She gets countered too easily. And that's against not so good opponents. So I think that she has two options here. She's either going to get really flustered and like get hurt, or she's going to up her game. I mean, usually when you got better, it depends. Sometimes people are different. The better your opposition, the better you fight, which in a way it is true. But you still doesn't mean you should still fight like shit against shit opponents. Like if you got shit opponents, your level shouldn't drop. You should just be finishing it better. You just might not be showing as much because it's too easy. You know what I mean? But you shouldn't be looking bothered. That's for sure. You know what I mean?
No.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Rachel's very awkward. She's very, very tall.
Yeah, underrated.
She's underrated as a whole. I don't underrate her. I've been following Rachel for about 3 years. So I remember her fight when she had that fight where she won that medal, that award for, because it was a bloody fight. She got beautiful straight punches. Shannon's a bit wild. She's a bit open. And actually, Rachel's very good at punching on the end of her punches. She's really good at keeping a distance. So, and because she's so long, Shannon's going to have to put the pressure on. I haven't seen her put pressure on in her fights yet. Usually she's going kind of backwards, trying to do a bit Sugar Ray Leonard styles on, ropes, being all fancy. But I don't think it's going to work with Rachel. But we'll see.
Yeah. What did you make? Yeah, sorry. Go on. Sorry.
So say, if she gets through Rachel, they might be more inclined to fight me, or they might be less inclined to fight me. Who knows?
I think it'd be a great fight. That I think it'd be a good match of styles if there was even a catch weight. I think
me and her.
Because you're quite direct and aggressive, and I think it'd be interesting to see how she'd negate that, because she had a good knockout in the last fight or the fight before that were beautiful left hook. But I mean, I think it'd be good to see your sort of styles gel. That'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, nothing to take away from it, because it's great to knock someone out, but it's easy to knock someone out that has fucking terrible defense, and it's three weight divisions lighter than you. The girl was a flyweight coming up to fucking super bantam. Shannon would weigh in at least 10 pounds heavier on a fight day. Like this girl, and it took her 5 rounds to knock her out. Nothing to take away, but I mean, there's a very big difference between knocking out a girl like that and knocking out someone like me. Or trying to, that actually has defense and can punch. So, I mean, I bother everyone. I bother girls inspiring that are 10, 15 kilos heavier than me. I bother the boys. So, I honestly have no doubt. I have no doubt in my fight skills, no doubt in my power. I think to beat me, you'd have to be a really, really, really sharp, fancy boxer, because I don't think you'll beat me on the inside or power-wise or strength-wise. 10 years of bodybuilding, like people don't realize how much strength that actually has given me.
I've seen you on the pads, and I want to behold it.
Man, I used to when I did martial arts, I used to break wooden boards and tiles with my fists, like when I was like 12, 13. You know what I mean? Like I punched freaking brick walls. Like it's so
madness.
I like to break skulls as well.
Eddie Hearn, get the offer in. That's a fight we all want to see.
Oh, is that like one of my students doing? Hey, Miss Bridget. Do your homework. Get off Instagram. Sorry.
No, it's fine. One of the last things I wanted to ask you was, I've put on that it's quite refreshing to see you spread a lot of positivity through your Instagram, throughout all the, obviously you get commented on for extravagant weigh-ins, and because
extravagant, but what's so extravagant? I got fucking fake tits. Is that what's extravagant? Because I mean, that's what's extravagant, because I mean, I'm in my fucking underwear. Everyone else is in their underwear. Mine just looks good because I got a mad body and big tits.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's the fucking problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everyone whinges and carries on. Like, fucking have a listen to yourselves. You're fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, because you've got one of the things when you strip it all back, as well as being, maths teacher, boxer, you mentioned there about, your weigh-ins and, showing off your body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're very big on being yourself. Is that is that one of your things that you try and get across to people, to maybe inspire people to say, you know what, I'm just going to do me? Because a lot of boxers it can get quite samey. Some are different, some are not. But obviously, your messages and stuff when you do your videos and stuff, they're quite positive, and you're trying to uplift people. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Inspire other people to do it.
Yeah, man. My goal, obviously besides winning world title, I'm bashing shit out of people. My goal is to let people know. Fuck, be yourself, man. What is so wrong about being yourself? Stop trying so hard to impress people. Stop, like being a people pleaser. Just be yourself. You'd be so much happier when you love yourself and embrace who you are. Unless you're a fucking shit cunt. Then fix yourself. But, if you're a good person, then, why not? You know what I mean? Why should you hide who you are? Why should you mold to be what someone wants you to be? you know. And then people, they always say they want real people. We love genuine people and people who are real. But then when you are, like, you get slandered. I don't think it's fair. I think this, you know, world's shit. But it's just, I look at, say, the kids, it's, for example, like kids in school. I see it all the time. These poor kids, like, you know, they're trying to impress their mates and they're getting in trouble. And I know the kids, they're good kids.
Yeah.
But they hang around the wrong crowd and they're just trying to impress their mates. And and that burns me, man, and it upsets me because I pull these kids aside and I talk to them one-on-one, and I know deep down they don't want to be like that. They're getting pressured into shit. And that starts at a young age, you know. And so I try and push that. The messages that I send out, because I know a lot of kids watch my stuff. I know a lot of it is a lot for the youth as well, you know, but it's nothing that you can't change when you're older. Like, it's why, you know, don't try and be anyone else. Just be yourself. Find yourself. Find who you are. Find what you're good at, you know, and spread that. And not just that, like, yourself, if, you know, you be yourself as well, but as well support other people who are themselves. Don't judge people. You know what I mean? Like, don't judge other people. Know that if that's them being themselves, why would you judge them? You know what I mean? Don't judge people on first glance. Don't judge people on their first looks. Everyone that you meet can teach you something. Everyone. Doesn't matter their color, their socio-economic economics, that where they've been telling you right now, you've got to give everyone a chance, because
absolutely,
I think, and that's why I reply to everyone, and that's why I reply to DMs, and that's why I'm doing this, and I'm open, because I've got to give everyone a chance, because, you know, like, you've got to spread love and positivity and support everyone, because you never know what people are going through. No one knows my backstory. You think I was fucking born like this? No, you know, I went through hell and back to get like this. I've learned through wisdom, you know, and you know, one day when I'm over it all, I'll probably write a book. But I'm not a poor me kind of person. I'm not a fucking sympathy sponge that I need people to feel sorry for me to be popular or to have a backstory to be famous. I don't need that, so I don't need to talk about it. But you know, but keep in mind that everyone's going through their own shit. Everyone's been somewhere. Everyone's dealt with things, you know. So be nice and be kind to people, and you know, don't judge people. Like, you know, if they're a bit wild, who cares? Like, if they want to show off their body, let them show off their body. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. You know what I mean? Are they hurting you? No. Exactly. If they're a shit, look, honestly, if they're a shit cunt and they're hurting you and they're fucking savage, then okay. Beat the fuck out of them. but honestly, like, if you're literally just judging someone because of some photos or videos or whatever, that's just, you know, calling someone a slut or calling someone something, or going, oh, they're promiscuous, so they must be. No, they're just comfortable with their body. Let them be comfortable with their body, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to say, you see a lot of nonsense on Twitter sometimes, where people try and, you know, whenever someone else is having success, even if they're having success, if they have a little bit more, it turns into like baiting and, like,
it's just a jealousy thing.
And try and slag people off. And I think that obviously, you know, you're just yourself, and you're like, is what, because I've seen you respond to people, and it's very much like, whatever.
God bless. Please help yourself. That's what I said. Please, I'm praying for you, because it must be so miserable and so sad to be living that kind of life where you're so angry and upset and so jealous. I literally feel sorry for you, and I pray for those people, because, you know, there's no feeling like loving yourself, and there's no feeling about being confident and secure within yourself that you don't have jealousy and that you don't hate on other people. You just want everyone else to be successful around you. And you know how good that feels. You're always happy, always positive. It feels so much better than sitting at home being miserable and jealous of people. Like, it's a fucking terrible feeling, man. And to just want to fight all the time, like, you got to pray for those people. So I just, you know, God bless. And you know what, you can think what you want about me, but I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you guys. Like, must be fucking miserable being you. Like, and I would not want to be that person. Like,
it takes up a lot of energy, like, hating on someone else, especially online. And it's like, it's not worth it. There's no point in it. But
they always do it. That's the thing. Social media, man, it's given people, you know, see it all the time. It's given people a you know, a way to be able to attack people and not get punched in the fucking head. Man, I swear to God, if it was like, you take me like 10 years ago, these people would be fucking dead in the pavement. They were like just getting skull fucking smashed on the pavement. They're being in their head stomped. Seriously, if it was 10 years ago, if it was Ebanie 10, 15 years ago. But now I just get paid to bash people. But seriously.
Go on.
Yeah, but seriously, like, I mean, I wouldn't put up with it if that was someone said that to my face. I'm not condoling that though, guys. Don't go bash people, but I mean,
yeah. What's changed? And just quickly, because I think we're only allowed to be online a certain amount of time, so I'll just quickly.
Yeah, it's an hour. You're only allowed an hour.
Yeah, I think we've got another 10 minutes. So I think.
Okay.
What's changed with you then over the last 10 years? You mentioned 10 years ago, would have gone down a different road. Is it just with growth and maybe maturity, or have you been through things that have, just sort of maybe changed your approach to things?
Yeah, I've been through things. I've been through things, pretty much had a second chance at life, you know what I mean? And I hanged around with bad people and did a lot of bad things. And, you learn from it. You want to learn from it. If you don't learn from it, then that's your problem. But, I was lucky I learned from it. And I have good family, really good family support, which I didn't come from a bad family. And it wasn't because of my bad family. I just got mixed up. A lot of things happened to me in my teens. A lot of bad things happened that just caused me to be, to go through things. And as I just matured and I changed, I just pulled my head in. I had some people around me that, I looked up to. I had my bodybuilding coach when I first started bodybuilding. She was a big inspiration to me, Arena Manta. She taught me a lot. And I just, when you get a second chance at life, you don't fuck it up. And if you do, then that's your problem. Just because I was different, and I just know what that's like. So I wouldn't do that to other people. People are different or whatever. I just treat others. Man, you treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
And I mean, I never started fights. People always started fights with me. And then obviously I'd finish it properly. And then, when you fight in the street, you go to court and you pay lots of money. You know what I mean? So, you realize that and I tell the kids all the time in school, mate, you don't want to fight in the street because it costs money. It costs money, and you go to trouble, you get trouble, and you go, you can go to jail, you can go to juvie. It's really not fucking worth it. So I just tell them, go to the boxing gym, you can bash people, and don't get in trouble. And if you start training and boxing, you don't want to get into fights. Like you don't. No. Like, that's the good thing about boxing. You just, have a lot of respect for what you can do. So. Yeah,
brilliant. Well, I think it's fair to say that everyone in the UK wants to see you come fight over here. For definite. So fingers crossed, when all this bullshit's over with COVID, you get somewhere and you can come over here and we can do a proper sit down interview where we're not limited on time, because I'm sure you can talk all day.
I can talk. I can talk all day. I know some followers in here are going to give me shit for this, but I can definitely talk. I got a lot to say. I've been through a lot in my life. I've experienced a lot. I got a lot of wisdom for my age. And I just want to spread that wisdom and love. And I mean, everyone has to learn their own way. They do. But if you can be that person, I always say, I want to be the person I wish I had when I was younger. I wish I had someone like me when I was in my teens too. But then again, at the same time, I don't regret nothing, because what I've been through has made me who I am. But, there's people out there that, you need it. So a lot of people don't get through what I went through. Like, a lot of people might not get through. I know a lot of friends, what I mean? They don't. There's a lot of suicide. We know there's a lot of suicide in teens, and it's it's really really big. So
well, it's good that you can have an impact at places like schools and stuff, because obviously you can then give back and pass on, maybe not everything, but just show them the right path to go down and say, listen, this is where it can lead, etc.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I can relate to a lot of the kids because of my what I've been through. I can relate to the kids, and I don't bullshit. I'm like this with my kids. The only thing is I don't swear as much, but I'm exactly the same. They get motivation speeches. They get I'm constantly drilling their heads in about how they got to be good and stuff. And I run a boxing program at the school, where I look after. Like, at the moment, we kind of rotate between the bad kids, so the kids that need help with anger management, and the kids that are getting suspended and expelled all the time. They come in and they do boxing pro once a week with me. We do 2 hours with me, and it's obviously they learn how to box, but also I get in their heads. You can tell what I'm like. I'm a kind of person who'll get in their head, and it is discipline. And I tell them, you're not allowed to quit. I don't care if you're tired. If the buzz is not done, you don't stop and get a drink. You don't know. If you want to do that, then you get out. Like, it's simple, And then we rotate between those kind of kids and the anxiety and the low self-esteem kids. Very different groups, but they get a lot out of it. The girls, and it's all girls. I always look after the girls. So just build their confidence. Let them know that they can do things, and that it's okay to be a confident woman and a confident girl.
Brilliant. Right, well, it's a shame we have to cut this short, but unfortunately,
we can do this again another time.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, thank you for coming on to MJ Boxing. Like I said,
Oh,
got
good.
to see you in the
Thanks.
UK. Keep spreading positivity. All right. Thanks a lot.
Legend. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Ciao.
Nice one. Bye-bye.